Integration streamlines operations, enhances communication, and maximizes productivity, ultimately driving growth and success, at least according to ChatGPT. A very warm welcome and thank you for joining. With me, I have my colleagues Toros, business BTP connector and co-moderator of the series, and the integration guru, Udo Paltzer, who kindly agreed to share what integration really does and how the SAP Integration Suite supports you. But before handing over to Udo, I would like to remind you that you have the opportunity to ask your questions at the end of the session. So we would like to invite you to actively engage in the session by asking questions and sharing your thoughts in the chat. And now, let me share the introductory slides to provide an overview of the series, and then handing over to Toros, who will introduce our presenter and share upcoming events. So, here we go. The entire series consists of 6 episodes. It started with an overview session, and I really recommend you watching it. It provides a totally different angle to SAP BTP. It's one of the sessions where you, oh, now I understand, and with that impression. The next session, of course, is also a must session to see. We will also post all the links in the chat later on. It is about SAP BTP AI vision and strategy. The next one is very important to developers, but also non-developers, what we also call citizen developers. And today we have the SAP Integration Suite, followed by a session on data and analytics solutions, ending up by rounding up really the entire SAP BTP with common concepts and a strategic direction. And with this, Toros, over to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Tania. Welcome, everyone. My name is Toros Aledjian. Glad that you can join us again for another episode. I just want to let you guys know some of our upcoming events. We have an event on March the 4th, Unleashing the Power of Event-Driven Integration with Advanced Event Mesh, in which Udo again will be giving us his insights around the advanced event mesh in collaboration with our partner Solus. We have on March the 13th, Innovate with Impact, SAP App House and Gen AI for Customer Success, live tech talks with SAP. And on March 21st, in collaboration with our partner NTT Data, we will present how to streamline collaboration and deliver efficiencies with SAP Build Process Automation. And finally, our second installment in our What's New in SAP DataSphere in 2024, so on April the 10th. So this is a quarterly webinar that we're organizing to give you guys periodic updates as to what's happening in the world of DataSphere. Also, for those of you who want to join us and meet us in person at our on-site events, and you are in either the Palo Alto region or in Miami, and right now we're actually also organizing one in the Chicago area, which I'll put in the chat. We have a 2-day webinar series focusing on generative AI and integration on the first day, and generative AI and DataSphere on the second day. So if you're interested in joining us either in Palo Alto, Miami, or Chicago, please do register yourselves. We are looking at bringing this series to a city near you in the coming months ahead. Next slide, Tania. And also, I just want to let you guys know of our couple of other communities, which I'm pretty sure most of you know already, our SAP BTP Garage Series, the SAP Screen Personas Practitioners Forum, the SAP Fiori APJ UX Practitioners Forum, the SAP BTP Practitioners Forum, and the most recently created the SAP Build Practitioners Forum. So if you're interested in staying ahead of the curve in the latest and greatest information that's being released, please do join us in any one of these communities and join us in our monthly calls. Next slide, Tania. I'd like to introduce our speaker, my colleague Udo Paltzer, Vice President Product Management at SAP for SAP Integration Suite at SAP SE. So Udo Paltzer is the Product Manager for SAP's Integration Platform technology with a focus on process integration and API-based integration. Udo has 20 years of experience in the integration domain, including cloud and on-prem integration technologies. As a product manager, Udo supports customers in their cloud integration journey and aligns customer requirements towards SAP's integration platform technology with SAP engineering. Furthermore, Udo is a regular speaker at events and individual customer and partner workshops. Many of you may already know Udo. So Udo, take it away.
Yes, thank you very much, Toros and Tania, for the kind introduction. So let me share my screen. I hope you can see my slides.
Yep, we can see your slides.
Now let's go into full screen mode. Yeah, and thank you so much for giving me the chance here to present on SAP Integration Suite. Just find my mouse here, and then we are ready to go. And yeah, today is a special day, February 29th. So we don't get this every year, every fourth year. So I'm very happy to be here on stage on this very special day. And yeah, and happy to provide an overview on SAP Integration Suite, and kindly use the chat to paste your questions into the chat. And we'll reserve some time to go at the end through your questions. You can also reach out to us, of course, afterwards through the usual channels. And yeah, I would like to give you, of course, an overview on SAP Integration Suite in general, updates, latest news on Integration Suite, then the recent innovations, what we have developed in the past. Of course, this would be an endless long list. I would then just spend on one major topic. Now, this is where we invested a lot over the recent years. So here, which was born, set in general availability end of last year. So the Edge integration cell for these hybrid on-premise deployment integration scenarios. Roadmap, of course, and please don't wait until the end. Paste your questions right away when something is not clear, or if you have any additional questions. And at the end, together with Tania, we'll go through your questions, and Toros, of course. Yeah. So the overview. For this picture, you have seen endless amount of times, and no worries. I just would like to highlight that today we are talking here on this integration layer, which is part of the SAP Business Technology Platform, which is the foundation of all our ERP systems, our industry-specific extensions, and human capital management, spend management, supply chain management, all our applications surrounding our cloud ERP. Basically, integration as part of the business technology platform. There's also a strategy paper released originally by Christian Klein. Now Jürgen Müller and Thomas Saueressig took over this paper, and here you can also find the similar picture here, and then a drill down into a bit into SAP Integration Suite. And the bottom line of this strategy paper is that whenever it comes to the integration of APIs, business processes, and events, SAP Integration Suite is our tool of choice. The SAP Integration Suite, as part of BTP, is our strategic integration platform as a service. So kindly read this paper. You can find only one product in this 7-pager here on SAP's integration strategy, which is basically SAP Integration Suite. And this slide you can also find in SAP Strategic Deck. So SAP Strategic, there is a overview slide deck available and public available presentation. It covers on some extent ERP, business technology platform, etc. And also here, when it comes to BTP and the integration layer, SAP Integration Suite is our tool of choice. Yeah, just to set the stage. So we're talking here about our SAP Strategic Integration Platform as a Service. And here now the overview on SAP Integration Suite, which is again our strategic platform, integration platform for the integration of APIs, events, and business processes, namely in the context of our own SAP applications, be it ERP, S/4HANA, customer experience, Ariba, Concur, Fieldglass. The list is long of our own SAP applications. Whenever it comes to the integration of government agencies for legal document e-compliance scenarios, when you need to transfer tax information to the government of your country where you have a subsidiary, be it in the US, via a certain standard, in India, in UK, in Australia, New Zealand, wherever you be, more and more countries have these legal requirements, and every country has different requirements with respect to the data that need to be transferred, the security mechanism, how to protect the data, how to sign the data, which communication protocol to be used. So these are different scenarios which we support via the SAP Integration Suite. And of course, the entire world of non-SAP applications, be it Salesforce, Workday, ServiceNow, Kafka, Amazon Web Services with their services, Microsoft Azure with their services, Google Cloud Platform with their services. So the world of non-SAP applications is, of course, also big. And also here we provide content, integration content, as well as adapters. And of course, the world of B2B, business to business, business partner integration, where certain industry standards are being used, like ANSIX 12 in the US, EDIFACT in Europe, Tradercoms in the UK, VDA in Germany. So different B2B standards are used around the globe for the traditional B2B integration. Also here, SAP Integration Suite supports these kind of scenarios. The starting point, a very good starting point into the world of integration and the SAP Integration Suite, of course, is the SAP Business Accelerator, where you can find a lot of content. So this is also one big differentiator from our competitors. SAP Integration Suite is not only a technical integration platform with tons of features and functions, but also comes with rich prepackaged content for a tight, seamless plug-and-play integration into SAP applications, into government agencies, into third-party applications, and into B2B standards. So SAP Integration Suite is also for the integration of SAP as well as non-SAP SAP's applications and non-SAP applications for B2B standards, as well as cloud applications and on-premise applications. So basically everything which offers an API, an event, or a business process, we can integrate with SAP Integration Suite using rich prepackaged content that includes the mappings between Salesforce and ERP, for example, or between Ariba and S/4HANA, between Concur and SuccessFactors, for example. So 3,400 prepackaged integration scenarios are shipped out of the box with SAP Integration Suite. You have access to 3,000 plus APIs, 600 business events, and we provide 250 plus adapters for SAP and non-SAP integration. Now we can already start to guess how many SAP adapters we have and how many non-SAP adapters we have. I have a slide a few clicks away, then we have the resolution. Guess how many SAP and non-SAP adapters we have percentage-wise. And then, of course, the heart of SAP Integration Suite, besides all this rich prepackaged content, are, of course, the capabilities, the components, the services, and we call them capabilities of SAP Integration Suite. For cloud integration is, of course, the most used ones for bread and butter application to application integration with government agencies. So for traditional process, end-to-end process integration, cloud integration capability is our tool of choice. And CPI, maybe you have heard in the past, this is the name as it was on the Neo platform. SAP Integration Suite runs on hyperscale environments like Microsoft Azure, Amazon Web Services, Google Cloud Platform, and Alibaba Cloud. And here we have the cloud integration capability of SAP Integration Suite, again, for bread and butter process integration scenarios. So traditional application to application integration with government agencies, and SAP and non-SAP applications like Salesforce with ERP, for example. Then, of course, so we have a bundle, as Integration Suite says. So it's a suite of integration services or integration capabilities. Another integration service that we integrated into SAP Integration Suite is API management, via which you can protect your APIs. So full end-to-end lifecycle management of APIs, the publication of APIs, monetization of APIs, monitoring, protecting of APIs. Here you can define, for example, how often you can call an API 1,000 times per hour, because my backend cannot deal with more API calls per hour. So I can protect my APIs. I can define how often an API can be called at the maximum. I can also define an allow list of only these IP ranges can call my API. I can also find a list of IP ranges which are not allowed to call my APIs. So I can define an allow list, a not allow list, which can access my APIs. Graph is another part of API management, which provides harmonized access to my APIs, independent where they've been implemented. For example, a business partner can be implemented differently in Ariba and differently in S4HANA, for example, for historical reasons. For example, via Graph, we can harmonize the access to these API, to these different implementations of an API just via one harmonized API. And Graph can be used for SAP as well as non-SAP integrations. You can expose APIs from both SAP as well as non-SAP backends. And then API-driven integration, or API-led integrations is an important capability of SAP Integration Suite, and also the event-driven integrations are also an important use case for SAP Integration Suite. Event mesh will be commercially included in Q2, so this is still on the roadmap, will come, but of course we have the event mesh capability already available as a standalone service, which allows you also to run event-driven integrations. And then there's this advanced event mesh, where you have even more event mesh capabilities with, we can deploy distributed installations of event brokers across the globe. And if an event happens in Singapore, for example, it will be simultaneously also available in North America, in Europe, for example, and you have high performance event-driven integrations via the advanced event mesh. So it's basically an enterprise event-driven integration platform. Then we also have a B2B add-on for the SAP Integration Suite, which comes via the Integration Advisor and Trading Partner Management capability. And here you can already see we also leverage artificial intelligence, actually already for quite a number of years. So for Integration Advisor, we already leverage AI, artificial intelligence, for the proposals of message implementation guidelines, interface descriptions basically, and the mapping guidelines. So you can have quite complex scenarios with these extensive B2B libraries, which can have hundreds and thousands of fields, and the Integration Advisor helps you to manage your B2B scenarios, your message implementation guidelines, which you can flag according to the industry, automotive, retail, pharmaceutical industry. You can flag it according to country-specific information, US-based, US country, or Germany, UK, for example. You can also flag your interfaces according to your country. You can flag it according to your business role, buyer or seller role. And based on all these flags and all the history and we have here a knowledge graph pre-trained, of course, from SAP, and it learns, of course, with each and every message interface and mapping that is being created and contributed back to SAP. The knowledge graphs gets richer and richer, and the proposal service gets better and better according to these flags that you set, for example, according to country, to your industry, and to your business role, as 3 examples. So here, from the early years, we leverage artificial intelligence for the proposal service to create interfaces, interface descriptions, as well as the mappings between 2 interfaces. And trading partner management, as the name says, you can manage all your trading partners. You can manage here for each and every trading partner via which communication protocol you would like to connect to this trading partner, AS2, AS4, SFTP, for example, how you would like to which security material you would like to use for a certain business partner with certificates, for example, and the message implementation guidelines. So you can define the profile of your own company and of your trading partners. Yeah, so the B2B add-on comes via the integration advisor and trading partner management capability. And the open connectors is a rich set of more than 170 adapters with focus on non-SAP cloud applications. So here you can find a long list of application adapters for the integration for non-SAP systems. Yeah, and then of course we have a longer history, a 20-year plus history of process orchestration customers, and probably all of, or hopefully many of you know that SAP process orchestration will go away. It's set end of life, end of 2027, standard maintenance, end of 2030, extended maintenance, and we have here a migration tool which helps to migrate the artifacts from process orchestration and turns them into cloud integration artifacts. So this migration tool helps you to migrate of process orchestration into cloud integration, into SAP Integration Suite, basically. So this is also another capability that is all part of SAP Integration Suite, all part of the standard price. Almost last but not least, the integration assessment capability, which guides customers when to use which of the services. This is now a long list of services: integration, cloud integration here, API management there, integration advisor, trading partner management there, open connector. So when to use now which of these services. This guidance you get via the integration assessment capability, which is actually based on a proven methodology, which we call SAP Integration Solution Advisor methodology, which you also saw in the strategy slide from Jürgen Müller and Christian Klein. So this is a proven methodology on our proven tooling capability based on our methodology. And last but not least, the latest kit on the block, and which I will highlight also in the recent innovation section, is here the Edge integration cell, which helps to address on-premise to on-premise integration needs. So although we all want to go into the cloud and use a lot of cloud applications, there's still a lot of on-premise landscapes available in the customer environments where you need to integrate big data between one on-premise application with another on-premise application, maybe in factory landscapes where you don't want to push all these data into the cloud, transform them there, push them back again, or for legal scenarios, they need to stay in a private cloud deployment option. So here we offer now this on-premise deployment option where you can integrate two on-premise applications with Edge integration cell and no data leave into the cloud. Yeah, this is the use case for the Edge integration cell. Okay, but I think we spent now quite some time on this picture. I hope you got the big picture, and SAP Integration Suite is a leading integration platform as a service. Maybe you just saw it, just a few days old, just last week, the latest Gartner Magic Quadrant has been published now the 4th year in a row. We are leader in the Gartner Magic Quadrant, and we are listed here 3rd best in the vision area and quite high also here in the ability to execute area. Gartner, as always, is very happy with our capabilities and the strength that I explicitly mentioned also in this latest Gartner Magic Quadrant is all the great customer feedback. We have a lot of happy customers who use SAP Integration Platform Suite, the SAP Integration Suite platform, all the rich prepackaged content, maybe 3,400 productized content that I showed earlier on the slide, and also the rich set of capabilities: A2A integration, B2B integration, B2G integration, API-led integration, event-driven integrations. So no one else provides such a rich platform with so many integration patterns that are supported on one platform. Yeah, so leader in the Magic Quadrant again. Here you can see the top 10 reasons why to choose SAP Integration Suite, basically the top 10 benefits. I just would like to highlight a couple of them, what I mentioned earlier. So we address all integration patterns on one platform: A2A integration, application to application integration, integration with business partners, with government agencies, API-led integration, event-driven integrations. The world of integration patterns is large. all supported via one platform and all this proven pre-built integration content. So it's not only an empty technology where you have to start from scratch. Every customer designs the same interfaces over and over and over again. So here we provide 3,800 proven and maintained. It's not only one-time development from SAP side, we also maintain the content. So in case there's a legal change on one of the scenarios, when we integrate with the US-based legal scenario, for example, or any other scenarios where our APIs change in our own applications and third-party applications, we also maintain this pre-built content. So you get also the updates for this content. These are definitely the two highlights, but also the rich set of connectivity options, 250 plus adapters. We run on multi-cloud hyperscale environments, Amazon Web Services, Ali Cloud, Google Cloud Platform, and Microsoft Azure. We leverage artificial intelligence in the integration advisor, also in the cloud integration capability. We leverage artificial intelligence with a proposal service for the iFlow steps. After mapping step, for example, you get a proposal, hey, after the mapping step, use a security pattern or a request reply pattern, for example. So this is what you get with SAP Integration Suite, and it's our strategic integration platform as a service, committed from board level with a strategy paper, huge community partner ecosystem. You can also find content and adapters from partners, a long list of security capabilities that we support with SAP Integration Suite. Yeah, strong API-led integration, and then this proven methodology on which our integration assessment capability is based on to give you guidance when to use which of our integration services. Yeah, and here the long list. So maybe you took some guesses, and we only have 6 SAP adapters, IDOC, RFC, and XI, Ariba, SuccessFactors, and MDI adapter, and all the remaining other adapters are for non-SAP, for SAP integration, of course, as well, like HTTP or data can also use for SAP integration, but they can also be used for non-SAP integration. So you can see the majority, the big majority of our adapters that we support out of the box without any extra charges are also for non-SAP integration. Speed, technical adapters, HTTP, OData, SOAP, AMQP, FTP, FTPS, SFTP, JDBC, Mail, IDOC. No, the list is long, and also third-party applications, Ariba, SuccessFactors, Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure Storage, SharePoint, Microsoft Dynamics, Salesforce, ServiceNow, Sugar CRM. The list is endlessly long, plus long additional list of non-SAP applications. I hope you get the picture. SAP Integration Suite clearly is also for the integration of non-SAP systems. And as mentioned, not only adapters, again, technical and application adapters, but the rich set of content in each and every of the content that can help you to be much faster. You don't have to break your brains about the APIs, which to use, how to do the mapping, and it's not often done with just a simple mapping between inbound and outbound interface. Often one API is completely different as another API. You need to do multiple call outs from your sending system, merge the data, do some data enrichment, adhere to some security policies, assign it with a certificate, for example, sign the message, for example, encrypt the message. So an average for each and every iFlow, of course, it depends. The more the complex the scenario is, the more time and money you save. But an average, you are 5 times faster to use our prepackaged content instead of wiring these scenarios on your own, and you save costs with a factor of around 10 times cheaper than building the iFlows, the scenarios from scratch. In average, 3,400 times with all the prepackaged content and many other artifacts as well. Yeah, and here, again, overview for S/4HANA integration. Here, some of the prepackaged content for the integration with Colombia, India, Turkey, United Kingdom, Hungary, Oracle integration. We provide Salesforce integration. So the list is long of these non-SAP integrations and SAP integration as prepackaged content. And just to show you a couple of non-SAP integration scenarios, so SAP Integration Suite supports end-to-end integration scenarios. For example, integrating, replicating your data, integrating data, replication of account data, of product data, sales pricing, availability information from SAP S4 to Salesforce, or vice versa, replicating up account data, sales contract data, sales order data from Salesforce back to S4 Cloud. And similar also integration between S4 and ServiceNow or Workday and SAP S/4HANA. Just to give you a couple of examples where we show, where we deliver. This is this prepackaged content 3,400 times, where we provide this prepackaged integration scenario for out-of-the-box integration in between SAP and non-SAP applications. And just to show you here some of our happy reference customers, and we can see here Toyota as a great example where they can reduce by 50% their integration cost using the SAP Integration Suite. Of course, it's entire Toyota, but a certain branch out of Toyota, they use SAP Integration Suite to reduce their integration costs. Elkjøp, an electronic retail company in the Nordics, Scandinavia, like Norway, Sweden, they use SAP Integration Suite where they process millions of messages on a daily basis, millions of API calls on a daily basis, 50 million per month, divided by 30 roughly. And also here, multi-millions of API calls and cloud integration messages processed here via SAP Integration Suite. And then here, one of our soccer games, FC Bayern Munich, you might have heard about it on these match days, where all the fans stream into the stadium, where there's zero tolerance if the ticket is not accepted at the counter. Of course, you want to get a good seat. So here, SAP Integration Suite is also used with a high load, with high performance data on these match days, where we need to be fully available and allow all the attendees to visit the stadium without any delays, and so on. The list of reference customers and public success stories also long. Kindly take a list. And last but not least, for the introduction, so please, all the ones, and we see a lot of migrations, elevations and consolidations from third-party integration platforms that we saw on the earlier list from Gartner, as well as elevation from SAP Process Orchestration into SAP Integration Suite. We have many more on PO. Basically, we just have a process integration capability, while on SAP Integration Suite, you have event-driven integrations, API-led integrations. You have an on-premise hybrid deployment option, all managed from the cloud onwards. Maybe you have all this prepackaged content, which was not available at all on SAP Process Orchestration. We leverage artificial intelligence for the iFlow proposals, for mapping proposals, for message implementation guidelines proposals. It's an open platform operated by SAP, where we run and operate the tenants, and it has a much richer set of connectivity options as we had it on SAP Process Orchestration. And we see here a clear trend, and customers migrate and elevate from process orchestration, make use. But elevation, we mean not only do a one-to-one migration, which is of course also fine, maybe for your hundreds of business partners, but you also would like to maybe leverage newer technologies, event-driven integrations, where you have a pub and sub, publish and subscribe kind of mechanism, where you can, with one message, with one event, inform all the subscriber to your message. For example, and we all enjoy when we go to the airport and we are informed via an SMS, for example, about gate changes, for example, or when my goods spoil from my groceries, I want to inform all my subscribers, hey, tomorrow the tomatoes are 20% off because they will spoil otherwise. So there are a lot of cooler, loosely coupled integrations using new integration patterns like event-driven integrations or API-led integrations, which you can also use with SAP Integration Suite. And we also see consolidations, even now, the pressure, time, cost pressure is everywhere, and customers we see a clear trend how customers also consolidate, go away from third-party middlewares and process orchestration to SAP Integration Suite. Yeah, and I would like, as mentioned, the recent innovation list would be very long. One of the key investments that we did over the last year was this Edge integration cell, which is our response to these on-premise to on-premise integration scenarios, which customers also do mainly with SAP Process Orchestration. So for on-prem to on-prem integrations, then we also have legal constraints. Data must stay on-premise. I have factory landscapes where huge terabyte and gigabyte of data are being transformed. It doesn't make sense to put them into the cloud. So the Edge integration cell provides on-premise also process integration API-led and event-driven integration scenarios. We currently run on 3 environments: Microsoft, Azure, Amazon Web Services, and SUSE Ranger. These are the 3 platforms which are currently supported. The other ones, of course, Google Cloud Platform, as well as AliCloud will come in 2024, as well as Red Hat, IBM Red Hat OpenShift is also on the roadmap. So this is the Edge Integration Cell. It's a hybrid deployment option, meaning hybrid, when we speak of hybrid, is all the design, the control plane, design, configuration, monitoring, deployment is all done in the cloud. Only the runtime is on-premise, and all your runtime artifacts like certificates, X policies, the iFlows, everything is deployed on-premise. So at runtime, everything will, all your integrations run purely on-premise. There's no need to push data into the cloud. And when we do monitoring, of course, all the data stay in an on-premise database. No data are pushed into the cloud. We will also provide OData APIs. They can build your own monitors in case you would like to completely switch off the connectivity to the cloud. You can also switch this off, or you will be able to switch this off. And then you could still monitor, of course, your on-premise scenarios on Edge Integration Cell using your own on-premise monitor with using leverage OData APIs, which you still need to publish. And with every cloud integration tenant that you have licensed, you are eligible to deploy 1 Edge Integration Cell in this one. So if you have, for example, the premium edition that comes with 4 tenants, or another set where you have maybe 2 or 3 cloud integration tenants, are eligible to deploy 3 or 4, and depending on the number of tenants, you can deploy the same number of Edge Integration Cells, and you can connect them to always 1 tenant. So meaning 1 Edge Integration Cell is always connected to 1 cloud integration tenant, but 1 cloud integration tenant, of course, can manage the multiple Edge Integration Cells. You can connect all your Edge Integration Cells maybe to your productive landscape because you would like to scale out your productive scenarios. So in the on-premise world, of course, the backdoor is it's back again in the on-premise world. So it's basically a customer managed service. So you are, again, as a customer, of course, are the one who is in the driving seat to install the Edge Integration Cell in the Kubernetes environment and do the upgrades. Same as the cloud, where SAP is the responsibility. We also provide, of course, also monthly updates with feature updates and also security patches. Also to you as a customer, it's completely in your hand when you would like to upgrade. There's also maybe a use case when you would like to leverage different upgrade windows, because you have a legal compliance. Now you can only upgrade it maybe in the 3rd week of a month and not on the 1st week on a month where we do our updates, as one example. So this would be scenarios which are also beneficial for you. You are in the driving seat when to upgrade your platform. Maybe you want to adhere to certain legal scenarios where the data must stay on premise. You have large data that you would like to process only in a pure on-premise private cloud deployment option. This is a good use case. And last but not least, messages are counted only to 50%. Since you are the one who runs and operates as the Edge Integration Cell, we count messages only with 50%. So extra messages which are not included in your license, they are only counted as 50%. So all the message processing is also cheaper on the Edge Integration Cell. Of course, again, of course, you need to run and operate the Edge Integration Cell on your own. Just to give you one highlight, this was definitely one of the biggest invests last year on the Edge Integration Cell. Kindly be invited to our monthly webinar where you can get all on a monthly basis, all the latest and greatest features and functions that we develop for SAP Integration Suite. And one of the goodies of this Edge Integration Cell is not only this on-premise deployment option, but we also combine the API-led integration with the process integration capability in the design time as well as in the runtime. So here we created completely from scratch, newly the combined, not completely newly from scratch, but we combined the runtime for API management and cloud integration in the runtime and also in the designer. So you can find here an API that we have designed here on Edge Integration Cell with an API policy, like an authentication, an API policy to authenticate which you use for authentication of your API. And then you have here the long list of all these 80 plus iFlow steps in one designer. So here you can see that also our integration suite from a tooling, from a developer experience wise, comes here together. Integration and APIs comes here together. And then you can deploy this artifact. You are in the cloud integration designer. You design your scenario, and then you say, hey, this scenario goes to the edge integration cell, and the other scenario goes to the cloud integration capability. So here, just via deployment, via click of a button, you say left or right, wherever I would like to deploy my iFlows. Even your older iFlows from the Neo environment also run on edge integration cell, full iFlow compatibility. This combined design time that I showed here, of course, this you can only deploy on the edge integration side, but we also target to provide also this combined runtime in the cloud as well. So here, just decide where to deploy the iFlows, and similar also for the monitoring. You just say, and now I would like to switch to the cloud integration monitoring, or I would like to monitor my edge integration cells scenario. So it's the same tooling is being reused, fully compatible. And again, also one advantage, we combine the design time environment and edge integration cell and also the runtime, meaning also you don't have different hops anymore between API management and cloud integration. Performance-wise, better, and also, again, only one message counts on the edge integration side. Yeah, and last but not least, just checking at the time, so I'm still good in time. So on the roadmap is not only invented here in our ivory tower, but we work closely together with you as the customer and partner. We have multiple channels, a low-touch channel and a high-touch channel. The low-touch channel is here a public web page, which we call SAP Customer Influence Program, where there are more than 1,000 customers. And partners already are engaged, where you can loosely couple and create feature requests. Hey, I need a certain adapter, or I need a certain pattern. For SAP Integration Suite, you can either create new ones, but first also check whether a feature request already exists, and then you can also vote when the feature requests already exist. And the good news is around 90% of all the eligible feature requests, eligible means at least 20 votes. So just don't create the same features over and over again. Of course, we need to merge them, but just to vote, you can also vote on a feature request, and every feature which has 20 or more votes, we have a high chance to put it on the roadmap. Maybe not on the immediate short-term roadmap, could be also midterm or long-term roadmap, but all the feature requests which have a certain, and 20 votes is not as much, is not much for a product where you have 12,000 plus customers. So kindly use the chance and help us to sharpen the roadmap and engage here in this loosely coupled channel, which we call SAP Influence. That's a public web page, and just click on the link here. Then you can also provide us feedback on the Business Accelerator. There's a feedback button, and this feedback button is not only, you can not only give us feedback, but you can also provide also request for, again, so this influence session is also linked here from this feedback button here on the Accelerator Hub, and you can also request content, APIs, events, and also feature requests on SAP Integration Suite as such. These are the low-touch channels, and the high-touch engagement is the customer engagement initiative, where we work very closely together with you in virtual sessions, where you have the chance to get a sneak preview into our own product vision, ideas, prototypes you can show, mocks we can show, where we want to see, where we want to share our ideas, and then ask you, shall we go left or right, any feedback that you have, any input for our side. This is, of course, a bit more extensive. Of course, here we would request you and expect that you, of course, engage with us, like between 10 and 20 sessions per year. For example, maybe every 2 weeks or so, where you spend like an hour time with us, provide us good feedback, on constructive feedback on our product, early mocks that we share with you. We had this already last year, and now the new CI, we will have a kickoff call in March. In March, we have a kickoff call, and this year, in 2024, we of course would like to focus on Gen AI. Where else we can use Gen AI? I have a couple of examples with me here in screenshots. The API Fabric, which is basically a standalone API Business Hub Enterprise, a stone API portal, basically, which we would like also to provide as a standalone edition. which we can maybe also bundle together with SAP Build Process Automation, where other capabilities like Build also have access to APIs in your landscape. And then, of course, migration from PO to Integration Suite, Edge Integration Cell, and the B2B capabilities are also target point where we would like to focus on this year's customer engagement initiative. So if you're interested, please there's a public webpage available. They can also register for the kickoff call, and they can still decide whether they would like to participate or not. Yeah, and the key investments area roadmap basically for SAP Integration Suite is, of course, we would like to continue our investment to help our customers to move from process orchestration to integration suite, maybe make our migration tool even more intelligent, where it can also convert a good old process integration artifact into an API-driven integration scenario or into event-driven integration scenario, provide mass migrations, and currently it's a single migration tool. So here we would like to enhance our migration capability. And of course, AI is all over the place. We also would like to invest into AI, and we have two use cases, which I will show you in a minute, which we currently target, where we would like to even use more artificial intelligence. Then the Edge Integration Cell just saw the light. It was just set into general availability. Of course, he would like to he would like to, of course, continue to invest into Edge Integration Cell, provide here more capabilities on the Edge Integration Cell, more adapters, for example, and based on your feedback, more capabilities here. And of course, the whole world of event-driven integrations. And we would like to commercially include the event mesh into the SAP Integration Suite, and many more ideas to strengthen our event-driven integration capabilities of SAP Integration Suite. Yeah, and almost last but not least, I would like to show you two investment areas where we see good chances that we can still provide something this year. One is, of course, we will integrate with Joule. Joule is our chatbot, our intelligent digital chatbot, where we can basically enter a couple of requests, like what you can do with similar Gen AI tools, where I basically would like to say here in our integration example, I would like to connect a SuccessFactors employee central system with SAP S/4HANA Cloud. Hey, dear Joule, provide me with some proposals. So one idea is to leverage Joule for proposal service, which prepackaged content is available from my scenario of choice. So we have 3,400 scenarios available. Of course, this is a bit of a jungle. It gets more and more. So one idea is that we help our customers to guide you using Joule, using Gen AI basically with a proposal service if any prepackaged content exists. This is one idea, and if you have a tenant available, it would copy directly this artifact directly onto your tenant. This would be example number one, or idea number one, the proposal service. And the second idea where we would like to leverage Gen AI is to create an iFlow from scratch. For example, here I would like to replicate employee data between SuccessFactors and SAP Sales Cloud. There's no prepackaged content available. Dear chatbot, dear Joule, please now create an iFlow from scratch. And the more details I provide, the better the proposal is. I can even upload maybe a schema definition, the inbound and outbound interface, and then via Joule we would even create the mapping, for example, for these two applications that I would like to integrate with. So the second example would be to create a complete iFlow from scratch for my scenario of choice. These are the two scenarios where we currently think that we can deliver something in 2024, again, to ease the life for the enhanced developer productivity. Find iFlow's proposal service for prepackaged content if available, and if not available, create an iFlow from scratch. Yeah, and with this, and further details on the roadmap you can find here for Edge Integration Cell, for Cloud Integration Standalone, and of course for the entire SAP Integration Suite. Yeah, and with this, I would like to come slowly to an end. I thank everybody for listening to me, and I hope I could show you that we have a rich integration platform as a service, which covers all integration patterns from classical application integration, B2B integration, government integrations, to newer styles of integrations like API-based integrations, event-driven integrations, And SAP Integration Suite, a leading integration platform, not only supports tons of features and functions, but also comes with a rich set of integration content for plug-and-play integrations and help and ease the efforts for you as an integration expert to integrate your heterogeneous system landscape. Okay, thank you for listening. And now I'm open for answering any questions. And I hope there are some questions available in the chat, Tania. So maybe over to you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Udo, for your excellent presentation. And yes, we do have many excellent questions. Let me start with the first. In the pharmaceutical industry, there are XML standards for integration. How does SAP Integration Suite help with these standards? Just like electronics companies which use Rosetta Net XML.
Yes. Rosetta Net, Cydex, Pydex, Rosetta Net for the high-tech industry, Cydex and for the chemical industry. So these standards are yet to come. So currently, to be open, they are not supported yet, but of course they're definitely planned. Please make use of this influence session that I showed in the other slide. So please, and there are feature requests. There are already feature requests available for Rosetta Net, for Cydex. Please vote for this. So the more requests we get. So please, the higher the chances are that we can offer them. So please just look at them here on this public web page. Currently, they are not yet supported, but of course, in the process orchestration migration, of course, we need to eventually support those. Currently, the demand is a bit lower. That's why we don't support them yet. But please rank them higher via the Influence Council, and hopefully soon we can support those. Yes, Tania.
Great, thank you.
I hope this helps.
The next one is, in my understanding, Integration Cell is not bringing new features to the suite, but it gives further options for security and compliance perspective to run iFlows in the non-prem area. Is that correct?
Yes, it's basically, yes, it's correct. But just to give a bit more provide some more context, it could also provide additional features which are typically used in the on-premise landscape, like a file adapter. File adapter is only used in cloud. Of course, we only say SFTP, FTPS, just use secure protocols, but we could have adapters like X400 adapter or FTP2 adapter or file adapter, where we also have a hard time to put them into the cloud and route them through the hyperscalers. It could well be that we have more on-premise-like features like adapters only on the Edge Integration Cell, while typically only cloud features like the open connectors we will not downport to the Edge Integration Cell. So there could be also slight deviations in between two capabilities where we focus on Edge Integration Cell on more on-premise-like capabilities. So it could also have some more features. But in principle, of course, the feature set is more or less the same, but with some deviations as well where it makes sense. Like the file adapter only on Edge Integration Cell. Yes, Tania, I hope this helps.
Great. Thank you. The next, what is the best way of connecting SAP Ariba, Concur, SuccessFactors with the SAP DataSphere?
SAP Integration Suite. So definitely via the SAP Integration Suite. We have a rich set of adapters. Of course, we might have to double click, and please reach out to us also afterwards. Then we can double click on your requirements. Now there is this integration solution advisory methodology, which is also mentioned here in the strategy paper. So if your scenarios are more data-driven scenarios, it could make also sense to look into DataSphere. The DataSphere, there's also like a data integration platform like DataSphere. It could also, if you have like terabytes and gigabytes, like a truckload of payloads, then it could also make sense to take a look into data analytics. But if it's more an API-led, event-driven and post-integration scenario, then definitely SAP Integration Suite is the tool of choice. But please feel free to reach out to us that we can double-click on your question.
Thank you. An SAP consultant told this attendee that open connectors will be deprecated. Hence, it is not reasonable to heavily use open connectors. What is the current strategy of SAP regarding open connectors?
Yes, that's also a very good point. Yes, so the open connectors is right. So it's live and kicking, and of course we will. It's not deprecated, so we still support the open connectors as is. But if you double click, you can see it on the public roadmap. There are currently no new open connectors, and there are also no new features released for the open connectors. In this way, it would be also good. That's why we also have separated here on this list the adapters which are available on the cloud integration capability. And definitely, if you start new projects, it would definitely make sense first take a look what is available already with the cloud integration adapters. This longer list, which gets here long, and we will provide even more. So if you take a look on the public roadmap, which is linked at the end of the slides, you can see also there will be many more adapters delivered explicitly for the cloud integration capability. There are also some disadvantages of the open connectors. They are run on a different runtime. So for monitoring, you have a different runtime to monitor. So definitely first take a look what is available on the cloud integration capabilities, and many of these cloud applications you can also integrate using technical adapters like REST, HTTP, OData. Definitely your first choice is to look at these cloud integration capabilities. I hope, and these cloud integration adapters. OpenConnect is not set at the end of life. On the other hand, as your question indicates, there are also no new features, so definitely would be good to take a look on what is available and where we invest even more, namely on the cloud integration capability. I hope this helps. Otherwise, always reach out to us in case we cannot finish all the questions. If you need more details, always happy to continue the conversations.
Thank you. So we would like to use Azure Private Network, but to do that, it's mandatory to use an app router, and it increases the cost. Any plan to consume a private network from an iFlow like for Cloud Connector?
Yes, there is. So currently, this is a BTP requirement, and this is still work in progress. So of course, we get a lot of these questions, and we would love to support private link. But currently, actually, it's not only us. With us, I mean not only integration, but many other services out of the BTP stack have similar private link requirements, and currently it's a requirement which is addressed on BTP level, and hopefully I don't have any timelines to be honest as of today, but it's a requirement which is well known and hopefully can be addressed sooner than later on BTP level. The workaround currently is to use the cloud connector, and this is what we have. That's all what we have. Or stay via the edge integration set in your private cloud. You have everything in your private cloud. The edge integration set is one response. Other response is cloud connector. Private link is currently still to be supported. But we have two other options, edge integration set and cloud connector as of today.
Awesome, thank you. Then there's a question, which monitoring tool encompasses with Integration Suite?
Meaning in a sense of which we propose to use, if that's the question, exactly. So this is a very good question, and to be honest, I should have also highlighted this. So there is, so of course we have our own local monitoring tools, but cloud integration has a monitoring tool, API management has a monitoring tool, trading partner management, and B2B we have a monitoring tool, of course, all accessible via the SAP Integration Suite, and you can see this here on the screenshot down here. But then I guess maybe the question was, you can see, so we have here also here in the monitoring, you can also monitor here our in the monitoring area, you can monitor integration APIs, B2B scenarios, and APIs. But there's also cloud application lifecycle management, which is like the cloud version of good old SAP Solution Manager. Also, the Solution Manager will go out of maintenance at the end of 2027, 2030, and the cloud successor product is Cloud Application Lifecycle Management. The on-premise version is F1, focused on, and in both, more in Cloud Application Lifecycle Management, we support SAP Integration Suite for exception monitoring, for health monitoring. So for end-to-end monitoring, also monitoring multiple tenants, and end-to-end monitoring from S4 over Integration Suite to Ariba, for example, there we would propose then to use SAP Cloud Application Lifecycle Management, CALM, Cloud ALM for cloud scenarios. FRAN also a bit. These would be the two monitoring tools for end-to-end monitoring. I hope this was the question. Otherwise, let us know. Reach out to us again.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, well, how is SAP calculating messages for when one integration scenario API management is used and
Yes.
cloud and also cloud integration? I think you guessed the question, which will the same message be counted twice?
Yes, that's yes, in the cloud, this is correct. And this is what I tried also to convey earlier. In the cloud, definitely each hop, there's an SAP node available. Now you can ping us and we can provide this SAP node to you, or I can also include it into the slide deck here. So it explicitly mentioned which messages are counted. And we, for example, for cloud integration, we count only the outbound messages. Only those messages which leave cloud integration are counted. The inbound traffic is not counted for cloud integration, while for API management and open connect, every API call counts. So there's of course there's some difference here. But as you rightly mentioned, if you call cloud integration as well as API management in the cloud, it would be two hops. It would be counted twice. Basically, while on the edge integration side, we have combined the runtime. It's only one runtime and only one count. Therefore, this is the advantage. And on edge integration side, each message counts only 50%. So it's like 1/4. So if you have this scenario, one message here, one message there, it would only be 1/4 on the edge integration side. Here, every hop costs only 50%. In the cloud, every hop costs. I mean, again, cloud integration only outbound messages count, API traffic, API management, or API costs. Edge integration sale, the runtime is combined, therefore it counts only one time a combined API and cloud integration scenario. Yeah, I hope this.
Thank you. So we are actually really on top of the hour. I would suggest we take all of your questions and we will post the answers to your questions in the comments area underneath the session, and also provide a PDF with the questions and answers in the description of this video. Also, Toros provided the email addresses in the chat, so feel free also to contact us for any further questions you have. But there's one question I think we should take very quickly, because many people are talking about they would whether there's a possibility to influence the roadmap because they would like to have things earlier. Udo, is there any chance?
Yes, vote. Only vote. The more feature requests you get, or the higher or the more votes a feature has, the higher the probability is. Vote on the feature requests. Then you can push the feature. Every half year we have, so twice a year we have rounds, extensive rounds, and the higher the feature request or the more votes a feature request has, the likelihood increases dramatically to implement a feature. So vote, so take the chance and vote on, or engage with us here on the Customer Engagement Initiative. This really meant you can influence us by the Customer Engagement Initiative and vote for the features. That would help us tremendously.
Is there a link?
Yes, the links are behind in the slides. Yes.
In the slide. Okay, awesome.
Links, yes.
So give us a couple of days to upload the slides and to provide the link in this video. Again, underneath in the description, I will add the PDF to the session, and that's also where you will be able to find the links how to influence the different features. Thank you so much. And then with this, we will take your questions. We will answer your questions, and we look forward to seeing you soon again in one of our next sessions. Udo, thank you so much for your excellent presentation and all the answers you provided. And a big thing.
And thank you, Tania, for the great hosting together with Toros. Always a pleasure. And
yes, definitely, always.
Great questions and joining this call.
Exactly. And I also wanted to thank our attendees for joining and for asking so many excellent questions. And no worries, you'll get your answers. And I wish you all a great day, a great evening, depending on where you are.
Mhm.
Have a great time.
Great. Thank you. Have a good rest of your day, evening. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.